Well, there was his chance. There was his chance.
That's it.
Darts. 2 leagues, 1 sport. The PDC and BDO fight for control. Players caught in the middle. Money, fame, and pride on the line. Who will win? The battle rages on and off the stage. Fans pick sides, legends are made and broken. It's more than just throwing arrows, it's war. This is the story of darts' great divide, the clash that changed the game forever. Get ready for Dart Wars, a tale of 2 leagues. Let's turn back the clock to 1973. The British Darts Organisation, or BDO, burst onto the scene with a clear mission: to bring order to the wild world of pub darts. Founded by Ollie Croft, the BDO quickly became the big name in the game. They set the rules, organised the tournaments, and helped darts transition from a casual pub pastime to a proper sport. The BDO's crowning achievement? The World Professional Darts Championship, first held in 1978. This tournament became the Super Bowl of darts, where legends were born and careers were made. Players like Eric Bristow, John Lowe, and Jockey Wilson became household names, their matches drawing millions of viewers on the BBC. But success breeds its own problems, and by the 1980s, cracks were starting to show in the BDO's polished facade. As the 80s rolled into the 90s, some of the top players were getting restless. They felt the prize money wasn't keeping up with the sport's growing popularity. TV deals were bringing in big bucks, but the players weren't seeing much of it. And let's not forget about sponsorship, or the lack of it. While other sports were cashing in on endorsement deals, darts players were still scraping by. One player who wasn't happy? Phil "the Power" Taylor. Already a force to be reckoned with, Taylor believed darts could be so much more. He wasn't alone. A group of top players started to dream big. They wanted more tournaments, bigger prizes, and a real shot at making darts a full-time profession. But the BDO wasn't budging. They were stuck in their ways, content with how things were. It was like trying to hit a bullseye on a board that kept moving. Frustrating and seemingly impossible. As tensions rose, whispers of rebellion began to spread through the darting world. Something had to give, and in 1992, it finally did. Picture this: 16 of the world's top players gathered in secret, plotting a revolution. Led by the charismatic Dick Alex, a sports promoter with big ideas and backed by the determined John Markovich, these players were about to change darts forever. On January 17, 1992, they made their move. The World Darts Council, WDC, was born, with a clear goal: to take darts to the next level. They wanted more tournaments, bigger prize pots, and the kind of professionalism that could turn darts into a real career. Who were these rebels? The list reads like a who's who of 90s darts. Phil Taylor, of course, Dennis Priestley, the reigning world champion, Rod Harrington, John Lowe, and Eric Bristow, the crafty Cockney himself. These weren't just players, they were the titans of the sport. But revolutions are never easy. The BDO didn't take kindly to this upstart organisation. They saw the WDC as a threat, a group of troublemakers trying to upset the established order. The battle lines were drawn, and an epic showdown was on the horizon. The BDO's reaction was swift and harsh. They banned the rebel players from their tournaments, including the prestigious World Championship. Suddenly, some of the biggest names in darts were outcasts in the very sport they'd helped build. As the dust settled from the WDC's formation, both sides dug in for a fight. The BDO, determined to protect their turf, chose the nuclear option. They sued the WDC. The courtroom became the new battlefield. The BDO accused the WDC of trying to destroy their organisation. They wanted the rebels stopped, and they were willing to go to court to make it happen. For 2 years, from 1992 to 1994, the case dragged on. It was like a game of darts where both sides kept missing the board. Lots of back and forth, but no clear winner. The WDC argued for players' rights to choose where they played. They said the BDO was holding the sport back, keeping it stuck in the past while other sports modernized and grew. The BDO countered that the WDC was trying to steal their players and tournaments. They painted the rebels as greedy troublemakers who were putting their own interests ahead of the sport's. Finally, in 1997, a settlement was reached. It wasn't a knockout blow for either side, but more of a compromise that left both the BDO and WDC standing. It wasn't a perfect solution, but it was a start. The war wasn't over, but at least now both sides could focus on growing the sport rather than fighting each other. As the dust settled from the legal battle, the newly rebranded Professional Darts Corporation, PDC, wasted no time in making its mark. Gone was the World Darts Council, and in its place stood an organization ready to revolutionize the sport. The PDC's first move? Creating a series of new, exciting tournaments. The World Match Play, introduced in 1994, quickly became a fan favorite. In 2005, they launched the Premier League Darts, a weekly tournament that took the sport's top players on a tour of the UK and Ireland. It was darts meets rock concert, with packed arenas and electric atmospheres. The presentation of darts also got a major upgrade. Walk-on music, elaborate entrances, and high-tech staging turned darts matches into full-blown entertainment spectacles. Suddenly, watching darts wasn't just about the game, it was an event. And let's talk money. In 1994, the PDC World Championship had a total prize fund of £64,000. Fast forward to 2024, and that figure has ballooned to a whopping £2.5 million, with £500,000 for the winner alone. This growth attracted major sponsors, from cigarette companies in the early days to online betting firms and car manufacturers today. The PDC has never been short of corporate backing. While the PDC was on the rise, the BDO faced an uphill battle. The organization that once ruled the darting world was starting to lose its grip. The exodus of top players to the PDC continued well into the 2000s. Raymond van Barneveld, a four-time BDO world champion, made the switch in 2006. His move was a seismic shift, like the darting equivalent of LeBron James changing teams. Other stars followed. Adrian Lewis, James Wade, and Michael van Gerwen all started in the BDO before jumping ship to the PDC. Each departure weakened the BDO's talent pool and strengthened their rival. Financial troubles began to mount. Without the star power to attract big sponsors or TV deals, the BDO's prize funds started to shrink. In 2019, the BDO World Championship winner took home just £100,000, a far cry from the PDC's £500,000 top prize. Television coverage, once the BDO's strong suit, began to dwindle. The BBC, which had broadcast the BDO World Championship since 1978, dropped the tournament in 2016. Channel 4 picked it up for a few years, but by 2020, the event was relegated to the lesser-known Quest channel. As the two organizations battled for supremacy, the darting world saw its fair share of drama and rivalry. Cross-code matches became a hot topic. When players from the BDO and PDC faced off, it wasn't just a game, it was a clash of cultures. The 2007 PDC World Championship final between Raymond van Barneveld and Phil Taylor was a perfect example. Van Barneveld, fresh from the BDO, dethroned the PDC's golden boy in an instant classic.
Barneveld is the champion of the world! He goes Augustus 5 title!
Player defections often came with controversy. When Adrian Lewis switched to the PDC in 2006, he was initially banned from BDO events. The move sparked heated debates among fans and players alike. Public spats between the organizations were common. In 2001, PDC chairman Barry Hearn called the BDO World Championship a pub tournament. BDO officials fired back, accusing the PDC of trying to monopolize the sport. These rivalries had a huge impact on players' careers. Some, like Phil Taylor, became global superstars in the PDC. Others who chose to stay loyal to the BDO found themselves playing for smaller crowds and less money. As we entered the 2010s, the writing was on the wall for the BDO. The organisation, once synonymous with professional darts, was now fighting for survival. In a last-ditch effort to stay relevant, the BDO made some big changes. They moved their World Championship from its longtime home at Lakeside to the Indigo at the O2 in London for the 2020 edition. It was a gamble that didn't pay off. Financial troubles reached a crisis point. Prize money for the 2020 World Championship was slashed at the last minute. Men's champion Wayne Warren received just £23,000, a far cry from the £100,000 awarded the previous year. In September 2020, the inevitable happened. The BDO went into liquidation, ending nearly 50 years of darting history. The aftermath was messy. Players were left in limbo, tournaments were cancelled, and the future of non-PDC darts looked uncertain. But the BDO's legacy lives on. Many of today's top players, including Michael van Gerwen and Gary Anderson, got their start in BDO events. The organisation played a crucial role in popularising darts and turning it into a professional sport. With the BDO gone, the PDC's dominance of professional darts was complete. But what does that mean for the sport today? The PDC has taken darts global. Major tournaments are now held in Germany, Australia and the United States. The World Series of Darts attracts top players from New York to New Zealand. New markets are opening up all the time. Asia has become a darts hotbed, with players like Paul Lim and Haruki Muramatsu making waves on the world stage. Technology has revolutionized how we watch and play darts. High-definition cameras can track the exact flight of a dart, while computer graphics instantly calculate scores and averages. This has made the game more TV-friendly and easier for casual fans to follow. The PDC has embraced innovation. The Darts Connect system, introduced in 2019, uses electronic dartboards to provide real-time data on throws. This has opened up new possibilities for statistics and analysis. Social media and streaming have brought fans closer to the action than ever before. Players interact directly with fans on Twitter and Instagram, while platforms like PDC TV allow fans to watch every match live. As we look back on the split between the PDC and BDO, it's clear that it changed the face of darts forever. The divide created winners and losers. The PDC and its players have reaped the rewards of increased prize money and global exposure. However, the loss of the BDO has left a gap at the grassroots level of the sport. The future of darts looks bright, but challenges remain. How can the sport continue to grow while maintaining its connection to its pub game roots? Can new stars emerge to captivate audiences like Phil Taylor and Raymond van Barneveld did? Let's dive deeper into some of the most memorable moments and lasting impacts of this darts civil war. Remember the 2007 PDC World Championship final we mentioned earlier? That match between Raymond van Barneveld and Phil Taylor wasn't just a great game, but a cultural moment for darts. Picture the scene. Taylor, the PDC's golden boy, up against Van Barneveld, the BDO convert in his first PDC World Championship. The match went to a sudden death leg, with Van Barneveld clinching victory with a double 20. The crowd went wild, and darts had its "I was there" moment. This match showed that the BDO's top players could compete with and beat the best the PDC had to offer. It legitimized the PDC's claim to be the home of the world's best darts players and helped accelerate the exodus from the BDO. Speaking of player moves, let's talk about the Welsh Dragon, Mark Webster. Webster won the BDO World Championship in 2008, then made the switch to the PDC in 2009. His move was seen as another nail in the BDO's coffin. They couldn't even keep their reigning world champion. But not every player who made the switch found instant success. Take Andy Fordham, the beloved Viking, who won the BDO World Championship in 2004. Fordham moved to the PDC in 2009, but struggled to replicate his BDO form. It was a stark reminder that success in one organisation didn't guarantee success in the other. The split didn't just affect the players, it changed the very culture of darts. The PDC embraced a more showbiz approach, with walk-on girls, pyrotechnics, and a party atmosphere. The BDO, in contrast, tried to maintain a more traditional image. This cultural divide was perfectly illustrated in 2018, when the PDC decided to stop using walk-on girls. This controversial move sparked debate about tradition versus modernization in darts. But the most significant impact of the split was the development of new talent. The BDO had long been seen as the breeding ground for future stars. Its county system and open tournaments gave amateur players a chance to compete against the pros. With the BDO gone, there were concerns about how new talent would be discovered and nurtured. The PDC has tried to fill this gap with its development tour and challenge tour, but some argue it's not the same as the open system the BDO provided. One unexpected consequence of the split was the rise of international darts. As the PDC looked to expand its reach, it began holding more tournaments outside the UK. This gave players from countries without a strong darting tradition a chance to compete at the highest level. Take Fallon Sherrock, for example. In 2019, she became the first woman to win a match at the PDC World Championship. Her success sparked a global conversation about women in darts and brought new fans to the sport.
She's made history again on the 21st. She's only got to knock down the world number 11 misses.
Or consider Darren Young, the American who famously defeated Raymond van Barneveld in the Dutchman's final professional match. Young's victory showed that darts was no longer just a British and European game. It was truly global. However, for all the PDC's success, some argue that something has been lost in the professionalization of darts. The BDO's Lakeside World Championship had a unique atmosphere, more intimate and traditional. Some fans missed the days players would share a pint with spectators after a match. Conversely, the PDC's success has turned darts players into genuine sports stars. Three-time world champion Michael van Gerwen has become a household name in the Netherlands. With his mohawk and flamboyant outfits, Peter Wright is instantly recognizable, even to casual fans. As we look to the future, the question is, where does professional darts go from here? The PDC has talked about further global expansion, with Asia seen as a key growth market. There's also been discussion about getting darts into the Olympics, though that remains a distant dream for now. Technology will undoubtedly play a big role. Virtual reality could allow fans to experience matches as if they were standing at the Oki. AI could provide even more detailed analysis of players' throws and strategies. But perhaps the biggest challenge facing darts is maintaining its connection to its roots, while continuing to grow as a professional sport. Can it balance the razzmatazz of the PDC with the grassroots appeal that made the BDO so beloved? One thing's for sure, the story of darts is far from over. From the smoky pubs where it all began to the global stages where it now plays out, darts has come a long way. The war between the PDC and BDO may be over, but new battles and new triumphs lie ahead. So, next time you pick up a dart, remember, you're not just playing a game, you're part of a rich history, a story of rebellion, ambition, and the relentless pursuit of that perfect throw. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more historic and entertaining moments in darts.